Yo, this is Dwayne Levi, and this is the Come Up Louisville.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Come Up. We here in Louisville, where we putting the spotlight on some of Louisville's dopest artists, man, that you need to potentially be adding to your playlist. And today, we got my boy Dwayne Levi. Welcome to the show, bro. Welcome to the Come Up, man. How are you?
Appreciate you, bro. I'm feeling good. I'm thankful to be here. I'm humble to be here. And ready to attack. Combination of all three. So.
Nah, I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
So, I do want to kind of just get into it one day because, one of my favorite things to ask creatives, we ask artists and things like that is, like how they got into it. So when it comes to music, like what was that journey like in discovering like, hey, this is something I can do, and this is something like I'm definitely going to continue to do.
So Bandy, bro, honestly, something kind of like this moment. All of my experiences in this art form and craft have been very divine. So it's definitely a gift that God just gave to me. And naturally, I've been in certain rooms and situations in my life that has been able to, make me the artist that I am today. So I would just say I got into it naturally. There was never really a day, because now that I think about all the things that are implemented in who I am as an artist, it started when I was like 4 years old, really, watching Michael Jackson, mimicking him dancing when I was drawing in middle school. But technically, when it comes to music, I did write my first rhyme in 2007 in middle school. So that's
you was
the
in
actual
middle school in 2007?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm young.
Nah, I could just be old, bro. Nah, I'm just playing. So you wrote your first song in 07.
Yeah, wrote my first rap, 2007, haven't stopped since.
So when was the first time that you like performed in front of people?
As a musician, actually I do know that answer. Shout out to my big brother Chris Howard. He was one of the first people taking me around to certain scenes in Louisville where hip hop and things of that culture was accepted, and also took me to technically my first studio session. Shout out Francis. He had a studio. I remember seeing Harlow and them come through all the time when they were younger at that same studio in Highlands, or actually in Old Louisville, if I'm not mistaken. But he took me, to that studio to record my first rhyme. But I wrote my first actual rhyme on Big Bro's Bad because I remember it was the Lil Wayne beat, La La La. Not La La. La 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 by Lil Wayne.
3 Lies.
Yeah. It's that La 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 La.
Wait, which one was on the Carter 3?
It wasn't on the Carter 3, but it was used as promo for the Carter 3s. Just like that, I Feel Like Dying. He dropped a few of those. So that was my first rhyme I wrote. And I remember I stayed up all night to write it. And it was very special. And I haven't stopped picking up the pen since. I actually started making beats first for the homies, but that only lasted like a week or two in middle school. And I was like, I'm gonna just rap to these beats because y'all not finishing y'all's rap school. And then I fell in love with rapping and then coming back and showing it and the reaction you get from people and how it moves people.
I respect that. So as you kind of like going through your process and, kind of developing as an artist, like kind of how did you find your sound and how would you describe it?
Man, so I would say this, I've been able to kind of come up with a quote to explain this, but I mastered writing at 16 by the time I graduated from high school. I graduated from Central High School. Shout out to all my Yellow Jackets. And by the time I graduated, I had mastered writing a 16-bar verse. And some of the raps you can hear me do in high school don't sound like a high schooler. So there's that. And proof of that was, I remember my senior year, the day that we graduated. And this is on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube, Dwayne Levi, and scroll all the way down, you'll see this. It's a song called Graduation, and it's to J. Cole's Back to the Topic beat. And I recorded that, and I said, I'm going to drop it on the day we graduate. And I remember wanting my flowers at school because I didn't grow up down in the West End and stuff like a lot of the kids at Central. I came from out the way, out Newburgh, Okolona area. So it was a little hard to get some of the clout, I guess you could say, that I technically wanted in high school because I felt like I was the best rapper. I'm going to be honest. I was the best rapper in Central High School, respectfully saying it. There's a lot of great artists that come out of there, but I took it more serious at a certain level. I would say it was probably me and Keith, 4CYG Keith was the two biggest rappers that came out of there. The two totally different sounds, but Um, yeah, I remember that day we was on the school bus to drive to the graduation, and all them Keith, all those guys, everybody that I was around that was doing their style of music, and I'm like, I kind of come off like a Kendrick type of guy, you know, J. Cole, Drake, that type of guy. Uh, so to have that accepted was amazing. So on the school bus on the way to the graduation, uh, a few people on the school bus was like, "Bro, I heard that graduation you dropped today. It's hard." So I mastered writing at 16 by the time I graduated high school. In college, I dived more into songwriting and trying to figure out like, okay, I'm gonna write this hook. Now, am I gonna sing it or is so and so gonna sing it? So I did like one of my biggest songs is "On My Way" and it's featuring Braxton, BRXTN. Shout out Brody. It's called "On My Way." You know, we got over like 100K views, 100K plays on SoundCloud at that time, and then the music video got 10K. And I wrote that hook for him. Actually, I tried to sing it first. Shout out Saint. Saint Engineering. It's my big brother. Recorded my first 4 albums. Shout out Brody. I went to try to record it, and he was like, "That hook ain't for you, Levi." But really, technically, I just hadn't found my voice yet to sing my hooks. He was like, "You ain't hit up Brax yet about it?" And I was like, "That's who I was thinking about. Like, that's that's the camp. That's the corner of guys that I can pull from." So Brax came through the studio, executed the hook, and I learned that day that I definitely can songwrite and get somebody to come in and do that. But after that, I was like, I got to sing these hooks because I was just hearing them a certain way. And naturally, I wanted to work on my vocals and be able to add that to my artistry. But I always wanted to sing because my whole family can sing. My grandmother had an audition with Motown back in the day.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to end up explaining that at some point in this interview. But yeah, so the songwriting and the singing and learning kind of how to use my voice melodically came more in college. And then that showcased on the first album I dropped, The Levi Effect, in 2016. And then since then, it's just been, okay, what else can you perfect? So I call myself the hook champion. My hooks come through, gutty. It's going to get you in the gut. But since I mastered writing at 16 before I mastered the hooks, it's like a beautiful marriage, bro.
I respect that. Through your grind and like your journey and kind of, like growing to the artist you are today, like what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Now I can talk about my grandmother and my come up in music, and how I've been motivated from my family. So my grandmother has passed away a few years ago, but like I said, she was actually in a group.
My condolences.
Yeah, all good, bro. She's right here right now. She was in a group in Baltimore. She was only 16 years old. She was the lead singer, and it was her. It was 2 of her sisters and her oldest brother, my great uncle John Watkins. He wrote the songs, he composed them, and they had access to a good studio in Baltimore at the time that they could record high quality. They could make a hit. They recorded 2 cuts, 2 records, and somehow Barry Gordy of Motown got to hear him, and he actually invited my grandmother via phone call to come out to Detroit and audition for Motown. And at the time, nobody could get my grandmother there because of the situations that the family was dealing with poverty, and people had all kinds of different stuff going on. Like my great uncle who wrote their songs was actually a gangster, and he had a money on his head at the time,
right,
in Baltimore. And then her other 2 sisters aren't old enough to drive her to Detroit. So that's the reason that my grandmother actually left Baltimore and moved to Louisville and started her family here, because she said they ruined her dreams. So I got that going. And then my 2 big cousins, Juan and Amber, they've made music their whole life. They have both passed away as well, bro. And them 3 people in my family are the 3 people who have made the most amount of music and like cared about it as much as I would. And they all have passed away, bro. Damn. And all told me that I would be something. So
hey, that's a blessing. That's heavy. I ain't even gonna hold you.
So really what I'm saying is God, bro. Really what I'm saying, God is the reason that keeps me going and doing this. There's been very divine moments in my life where things have happened, and it's just like, that don't just happen. You know what I mean? Like, that don't just happen. Like, honestly, bro, it's crazy. I can go for a long time about all those moments, but there's been some very spiritually divine moments that have let me know that I'm supposed to be here today. You gotta be present. So.
No, you definitely gotta be present today, and I definitely respect that. And like I said, that's heavy, but I appreciate the fact that, what I'm saying, it's like you let it continue to fuel you as you continue to grow through your music. So with that being said, as again, going back to the artist you are today, like what's something that you would tell yourself back in 07?
I would say watch who you do work with, and express this magical and special craft that I have. My favorite thing about this whole process of the craft that I chose to do for my life is the studio session itself. Shows is fun. This is fun. Being famous would probably be fun, right? I've been viral a few times. That's fun. Music videos, fun. But the most special thing is that studio session. And I've honestly been in rooms with snakes, and I've expressed who I am as an artist, and that can come back to hurt you if they get to experience that, if they're not meant to experience that. So I would tell myself in 2007, watch who you work with and who you are going to open up your heart to.
Yeah. No, that's that. No, I definitely respect that because you can't break bread with everybody, and everybody don't deserve to be broken bread with.
No, sir.
So I definitely get it.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to get into a little bit of the song, the song "Her Own Style." Tell me about that song and kind of how that song came together.
So Her Own Style is technically the first single to be released that's going to be on the new album dropping June 22nd. Good Music Matters. And it was like it's technically it's the hip hop and R&B thing that I've been trying to work on for years, and I found it. I found a way to do it, and I remember recording it because that's the only song. Well, there's 2 songs on the album out of all 20 tracks that I recorded with my equipment, not at the studio that the camp made. So that's very special in that week. But my engineer Jordan Hillis, shout out Jordan Hillis, shout out Juice, aka Joshua Mattingly. Shout out Sam Willard. Shout out Cole Brentsel, the whole gang, Ahmad, my videographer, Goonie Tunes, all my brothers. But yeah, he gave me his compressor. He was like, with your MXL mic, and now you have a compressor, and with your interface, you can actually technically get, if not the exact quality that you're getting here, but close to. Then if anything, I'll just mix it for you so that you don't have to wait till every Friday to record something. So I recorded 2 songs that week, and he had set my levels. He literally at the studio set them. He was like, don't turn these knobs when you get home. Set the levels. And I recorded that. And I remember it was, what was special about that song is the melody was delivered to me in my sleep, bro.
Oh, shit.
I remember, bro, I kept hearing it and I was sleeping. And I was like, man, I'm singing a damn song in my dream. And I was like, I'm supposed to get up. I'm supposed to get up. Michael Jackson would get up. Marvin Gaye would get up.
Yeah.
J. Cole would get up. I'm like, okay, when you put a lot of hours in something, now my vessel is being used as a musician. So I'm like, these are the moments. I got to get up. This melody's heat. Because I had already heard the beat, but by the time I was ready to record, I was tired. But that melody was too strong. So I woke up, it was about 2 in the morning, 2:30ish, like around that time, and I woke up and was like, I'm going to just do it. Just at least get the melody down. I'm thinking I'm going to just go in there and hum the melody. I'll fix it. I'll do it tomorrow, write everything. Nope, wrote the whole song. I would say from the time that I sat down, everything was done in an hour. Writing, recording. I didn't mix it yet, but writing and recording that song was done under an hour. 2, 3 in the morning, bro.
No, that's fine. No, I listened to the song, man, and the song is fire. It's definitely a vibe.
Thank you.
It's definitely a vibe.
Thank you.
So much respect. I listen to a lot of music, and I will say that song "Graduation." Cause I remember you showing me that song.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's like that, especially for somebody you said you wrote in 07?
No, Graduation.
That you wrote in high school.
So that's
okay,
2012.
Still, yeah. Really like 18.
13. Yeah, 13 actually.
Rapping like that.
13. Yeah.
I respect it.
Thank you.
I respect it. But I want to get into some high school questions, man. You could pick anybody to, whether it be do a song with, a tour with, who would that artist be?
Can I give a few?
I'll give you 3.
All right. So I'm going to give you this. If I could have a studio session with an artist, an RIP brother, and he's from our city, it would be Static Major, for sure. If I could do a show with somebody, Lil Wayne.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like this version of Lil Wayne?
Nah.
Okay.
The Carter 3 Lil Wayne. Good gracious.
Okay.
Wait. He's a natural. I got to see him at this version though, and it was still good when he came to the Yum Center. It was good. You was there? I was second row though. It's a different. I got to get VIP. It was my first time seeing one of my favorite hip hop artists in person.
Nah, I respect.
I might have been biased that night.
I respect that.
And then if let me think. And then if I was and then all of that combined in the studio shows, like, I tell, like, I'm signed by God. That's what I say.
Respect.
But if I was to sign to technically a label, Dreamville, J. Cole, favorite hip hop artist of all time, I consider him the greatest rapper of the generation. Like in high school growing up, I've been listening to Friday Night Lights and the warm up and the come up, and I'm just like, as much as I love Kendrick and Drake.
So you ain't hear who that J. Cole though?
What you mean?
You heard who that J. Cole? Like who that?
Oh man, yes, he's my favorite hip hop artist of all time.
I got put on the J. Cole probably like my freshman year in college. I'm not gonna tell you what year that is though.
A lot of people in Louisville were kind of confused because he kept talking about the Ville, so everybody was like, "Is he where he from?" Fayetteville. Yeah, this is the real Ville though.
I respect it. All right. What's a dream venue that you would love to perform in?
I don't even know if it's still there, but the Copacabana, whatever it's called, that the Temptations and all those great Motown artists would perform in. Old heads know what I'm talking about. All them movies of all them old school groups, bro, like performing there at that time was huge. Just for the sake of what that meant. I love Motown music, bro. Yeah. I consider Motown the greatest label and collective of music of all time on the planet.
No, I'm a Temptations guy.
And if you think of everybody who came out of Motown, that roster will always be unbeatable. Can't be beat. I hope I said that right. Unbeatable, yeah.
I get what you mean.
Marvin Gaye, Michael Jackson, everybody.
I get what you mean. And my last hot seat question: if you had to pick 3 songs that was a soundtrack to your life,
and these are other artists, right? Or mine? Just
any song.
Well, I'm gonna tell you my favorite song. I got 3. My favorite song of all time to ever touch the earth is "Devotion" by Earth, Wind, and Fire. My favorite hip-hop song of all time to ever touch the earth is "Today Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube.
Today do be a good day.
And my favorite, I consider it's the greatest hip-hop album, is the Carter 3 by Lil Wayne.
Shout out to the Carter 3. I love the Carter 3.
I know that.
I don't know about greatest album.
I know, but everybody's got that though. Everyone got their own.
I feel you.
I just think if you go through the Carter 3,
no, the Carter 3,
it ain't a skip on there.
It's not.
And if you listen to some of the stuff that they put on there, shout out Static, he wrote a Lollipop. That's Lil Wayne's #1 hit to this day. Wrote by somebody straight from this city, bro. I've only heard about 3. See, I'm gonna be honest. I only heard about 3 or 4 songs, and that's for a reason.
Because you can't get through the rest of it.
It's not. I mean,
we're talking about
anything else. Just don't drop no more Carters unless it's gonna be the Carter. Like honestly, Carter 5 had a few. Carter 4 had a little more few, but the Carter 3 is it. Carter 1, 2, and 3 is amazing.
Should have just been a trilogy.
Yes, bro. That 1, 2, and 3. Some of the greatest rap that people will ever hear on this earth, bro.
Nah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then Lil Wayne's whole come up is crazy, bro. Just watching him perform with the Hot Boys, and he's the youngest. Don't even know you're going to be the biggest artist out of all these guys. Manny Fresh, dude. That's his come up's crazy.
Nah, it is.
And then the people that he signed and put on, like, so also showing that he can coach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nah, facts, man. But nah, man, we coming up towards the end, man. So, but before we get out of here, I just, what I'm saying, let everybody know kind of what you got coming up. You know what I'm saying, and how we can find you and how we can listen to your music.
For sure. Dwayne Levi on all platforms. People do just call me Levi for short. You want me looking at the camera on this part?
Yeah. It don't matter.
All right. Dwayne Levi on all platforms. Dwayne Levi, DWAYNELEVI. I'm dropping my 6th studio album June 22nd. That will also be my birthday. And we will have a party at Stella's venue. You do have to RSVP to get in, though, even though I name dropped the venue. And it'll be my 6th studio album, collective of hip-hop, R&B, and alternative rock. I'm excited. I do have a short film out, too. I do need to mention, I do write and direct films. I have one short film out on YouTube called Happy Pill. You can search that as well. And then I will be getting more into my film bag. After we drop this album, I'll probably direct another movie and let this album marinate for a little bit of time. So, Dwayne Levi, the camp is Goonie Tunes. Please respect the camp.
And one last question. What's one thing that you want people to take away from your music?
Just be yourself. That's what I chose to do with the music. And the long hours and taking the time to soak up the great artists that I've got to be around. I've got to technically be around some of the greatest artists that come out of this city and around this region. And then even the artists I grew up listening to. I'm living my dream right now. So I'm going to just say I'm thankful. I'm living my dream. My dream was always to be able to make music at the same level as those artists that I was listening to, you was listening to when we was growing up. And that's happening right now. So I'm just thankful for that.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that. Again, man, I appreciate you coming to the show, man.
For sure. Appreciate you having me, bro. For sure.
For sure. Definitely, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, I love listening to your story, bro. As you can tell, like, I'm the type of person sometimes, like, when people got a great story, I just be wanting to listen.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you coming on with us, man. But to you guys watching, that's a wrap for the show, man. Big thanks again to Dwayne Levi for stepping in and kicking it with us and chopping it up. Be sure you hit him on the streams, run his numbers up, do everything you can to make, you know what I'm saying, everybody successful, because that's how we become successful, when we all work together. But this is Bandy, man. Thank you for watching the come up. And big thanks to the studios at CGL for letting us use their space.
Yeah,
we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
She got her own style, it's evident. Well, this is an angel, she's heaven sent for me. I wanna be a man, I can't lie. If it's to be, it'll come back to me, that's a sign. Her heart is wide open, I poured a love potion, and it's unconditional, feels like we're chosen. I'm seizing a moment, to not try is pitiful. How can we own it, and not let it own us? Patience a virtue, past life hurt you. Our love had a curfew, but now we can pursue. I need some FaceTime, even if I was blind, I would still see you. It's such a chill vibe, when we're in real time, you can still be you. I notice and see who you wanna be. It's inspiring me, ran into a king who's chasing his dreams. You fit in every scene. She got her own style, it's evident. Well, this is an angel, she's heaven sent for me. I wanna be a man, I can't lie. If it's to be, it'll come back to me, that's a sign. Pick up where we left off, I know we're both fresh off of our past relationships, time for a fresh start. It's easy to set apart when it's true companionship. I bet on my own life, when we get it right, it'll be everything that we wanted. It's hard to stay focused, emotions start flowing, but everything said I can see it in motion. No games, genuine vibes, and nothing below it, it's in plain sight to the eyes. True love is heroic, we've pre-gamed all of this time. Just let it keep growing, we'll walk through that door when we see that it's open. There's no need to rush when we know that we're chosen. She got her own style, it's evident. Well, this is an angel, she's heaven sent.